Hello, hello, everybody, and welcome back to Becoming Her. I hope you are having a wonderful, beautiful day so far. You deserve it. If you haven't met me yet, my name is Alison Aurora, and I serve on the board of a national women's leadership conference, as well at one of the top 5 charities in the world. And I'd like to share my thoughts with you about wealth, health, wellness, and becoming her. So join me today in talking about the restlessness of becoming. This is something that I've been carrying for a while, something that I suspect many of you guys carry too. And I think I'm just now starting to get words for it. The feeling that no matter how much you do, it's never quite enough. The feeling that you're always becoming, but never arrived. The feeling like there's always another mountain to climb. And if I'm really honest, this episode comes from a place of tension because lately I've been feeling guilty. Guilty that I'm not as present as I should be with the people that I love. Guilty that there are so many texts I haven't answered, phone calls I haven't returned, conversations I've rushed through because I was thinking about my next task. There's moments when I'm sitting with my friends or family, but mentally I'm somewhere else entirely. Thinking about work, thinking about goals, thinking about what's next. And then I leave feeling like I failed in 2 places at once. I wasn't present with them, and I also wasn't working on the thing that was occupying my mind. It's a really strange and frustrating kind of dissatisfaction. And if that's not enough, there's another voice, one that says, you should own a business by now. You should be making more money by now. You should have accomplished more by now. You should be further ahead. And this is something I really struggle with, is looking at the things that I've done and thinking it's not enough. It's not enough. And I know if I were to die today, I wouldn't be satisfied. And it's funny because when I was younger, I thought success, which we'll use that relatively, would feel different. I thought that there might be a moment where I'd feel satisfied, accomplished. Like I could sit back and say, okay, I've done enough. But the older that I get, the more I realize that every accomplishment simply reveals to me another horizon. Every milestone introduces me to another mountain. Every dream achieves creates room for another dream. And while ambition can be powerful, it can also be really exhausting. Because what happens when your entire life becomes one giant checklist? What happens when your value becomes attached to your productivity? And that's something I really struggle with is how could I not attach my value to that? How could I not attach my value to my output? Because that shows I'm doing things and I'm being active and I'm being alive and, I'm putting things out into the world. How could my value not be attached to that? It's a really hard one for me to swallow. What happens when every moment of rest feels like wasted potential? And I think a lot of us live there, especially people who are driven, especially people who care deeply, especially people who have big dreams. We don't just want success, we want significance. We want our lives to matter. We want to leave the world better than we found it. We want to contribute. We want to give back. We want to glorify God. We want to build things, create things, change things. And those are all noble desires. But sometimes those desires become a burden because there is always more to do, another problem to solve, another person to help, another goal to reach, another version of yourself to become. And eventually you start asking, when does it end? When do I finally feel like enough? When do I get to enjoy the life that I'm building? When do I stop feeling behind? That one's a really hard one for me. I always feel like no matter how much I'm doing, it's not enough. It's not where I should be. And I don't know if you've ever had those thoughts, but I have. If I died today, would I be satisfied? No, I wouldn't feel like I'd been enough, done enough good in this world, beau- built this beautiful life that I envision for myself. I don't think I would have glorified God the way I want to. If I died today, I wouldn't be happy with that. And I was really thinking about that the other day. And I'm trying to mull over how I can change that. If you died today, would you be satisfied? For me, there's still books I want to write, books I want to read, things I want to learn, people I want to help, to say things that I've never said and want to say, organizations I want to build, children I want to impact, conversations that I want to have, places I want to go. Y'all, I want to go to Africa and go on a safari and hunt so bad. and I'm not satisfied with my service to others. And, thinking about if I had died today, there's so many people that I'd like to tell how much they mean to me, or for me to apologize to because of the way I've acted. There's versions of myself that I haven't even become yet. And this realization that I'm hoping you're having with me creates an ache, a restlessness, a longing, not because life is bad, but because life is unfinished. And maybe that's what we're actually feeling. Not failure, not inadequacy, but incompletion. Because we were created with eternity in our hearts. We were created to long for more. But I think sometimes we confuse that longing for a sign that we're falling behind. But maybe we're not behind. I recently found out that I'm an Enneagram 8, and I know personality assessments aren't the gospel truth, but I have to admit it explained a lot. It was joyful and painful. Joyful because suddenly pieces of myself made sense. The intensity, the drive, the desire to build, the desire to lead, the need to create impact, the unwillingness to settle, the constant push towards more. But it was painful because in the personality report, they illuminate all your traits, positive and negative, like the inability to stop, the discomfort with vulnerability. That's a big one. I saw, I did some research after finding out I was an 8, and some people say Enneagram 8s only trust between 8 to 10 people in their lifetime. Like, really trust. And I unfortunately think that's true. I have a really hard time opening up to people. And I'm trying to figure out if that's a good thing or a bad thing. Another negative they pointed out is the tendency to believe that everything depends on me, the pressure that I certainly put on myself, the striving, the constant feeling that if I just work a little harder, achieve a little more, become a little better, then maybe I'll finally arrive. And I realized that my greatest strength and my greatest struggles are usually the same things. My drive that helps me build can also stop me from resting. The ambition that helps me accomplish can also prevent me from appreciating. And the vision that helps me move forward can also make me overlook what's right in front of me, including the people I love and the blessings God's given me, including the season that I'm currently living. Because here's the truth: there's always going to be more money to make, more goals to achieve, more books to read, more causes to support, more people to help, more growth to pursue. The list never ends. And I'm starting to realize that the question isn't really, can I do it all? Golly, I sure hope I can, though. There's so many things I want to do. But the real question is, can we learn to live faithfully in the middle of the unfinished? Can we pursue excellence without making it our identity? Can we chase big dreams without despising our current reality? Can we build meaningful lives without sacrificing the people we're building them for? Can we strive while still resting? Can we hunger for more while remaining grateful for what already is? It's a really hard tension, and I'm trying to understand that it's not about choosing between ambition and contentment, but learning how to hold them together. To wake up every day pursuing excellence, simultaneously thanking our God for enough. To work hard while remembering that our worth was never earned. To build while remembering we're already loved. To chase purpose while remembering God's approval isn't waiting at the finish line. And maybe that's what I'm learning right now. That life isn't a problem to solve, it's a gift to steward. Growth is not evidence that I'm behind, it's evidence that I'm alive. That becoming isn't a destination, it's the journey itself. When I was in high school, I ran for student council, and I would always finish my speeches with, and a wise man once said, life is a highway, and I'm going to ride it all night long. That was Lightning McQueen, by the way. And it's a little sad that I knew it was all about the journey in high school. With that quote from Lightning McQueen. But I lost sight of that because maybe satisfaction isn't found in finally arriving. Maybe it's found in faithfully walking one step at a time, one day at a time, one act of obedience at a time, trusting that God sees the desires we carry, trusting that He knows the dreams we haven't accomplished yet, trusting that He knows the impact we still hope to make, and trusting that even if our lives feel unfinished, they are not insignificant. And boy, do I need to hear that. And maybe the goal wasn't to do everything. And maybe it's just to be faithful with what we've been given. And maybe that's enough. If you're feeling this way, I hope you find comfort in knowing that I've been feeling it too. And mulling over trying to understand what I'm supposed to do with these feelings. Chase more, work harder, allow myself to rest. And I do seek to do more with my life. I sure hope my story isn't finished yet. But golly, I'm ready to try and see what all good I can do in this world. Thank you so much for listening to today's episode of Becoming Her. Send this to a friend or a family member that you would think needs to hear this because you love them. Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss next week's episode. And remember, if you've been feeling restless, if you've been feeling behind and conflicted and guilty and like you can't be everything all at once, and if you've been wondering whether you're doing enough, this is your reminder that you are not alone. Keep becoming, keep growing, keep pursuing excellence. But don't forget to look around and appreciate the life that you're building along the way. I'll see you next time.